Today we're making 3 root beer cocktails. I like root beer, and there are so many root beer options. It's pretty much its own niche that you could just easily find yourself deep in the weeds on. I wouldn't say that I drink root beer too often, but when I do, I enjoy exploring new root beers and avoiding the ones that I think are not good. So for the 3 cocktails today, I'm using some good quality root beers, but you can use whatever you'd like. But I will say that my least favorites by far that are pretty common out there are Weinhard's and Bundaberg. Weinhard's used to be really good, but it's now just hot garbage, and Bundaberg is about as bad as you can get. Now, I have nothing wrong with A&W. I think it's delicious, but it's kind of generic. It's mainly creamy vanilla, and many of the smaller brands you can get offer more intense and complex flavors. So I'll be using these 3 root beers today, but like I said, feel free to use whatever you'd like and use the same one for all 3 of these if you prefer. First up on our root beer exploration is something very simple. It's just root beer and absinthe. There's no official combination or ratio that you need to go by, but this became popular in the late 2000s after the absinthe ban was lifted in St. George. Makers of the first American absinthe post-ban repeal shared their version called the Root of All Evil, which was put together by Ellie Winters. Now, you cocktail nerds will also know that there is another cocktail by the same name that came out around the same time, but that's just life. Sometimes things share the name, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and make the Root of All Evil. And into a chilled glass with ice cubes, I will add 1 ounce of absinthe and 3 to 4, maybe 5 ounces of root beer, whatever you like here. That's pretty much it, but I'll add some mint just to make it look pretty. So there you go, the Root of All Evil. Let's try it. Cheers. I've had absinthe and root beer before at some point in my life, not recently. I don't think I've had it with St. George or this root beer. And there's a part of this to me, like, it feels like almost gimmicky to put these things together. There's a lot of overlapping flavors. I anticipated it would taste good. I'm a little bit shocked at how much I like this combination right here. It is, I think it might be the most delicious use I've ever had for absinthe. It's so simple. It is low ABV. We use 1 ounce of absinthe, even though absinthe is higher proof. So it's a nice low ABV drink if you want to consider it a cocktail or not, because it only has 2 ingredients. It's your thing. But the root beer is lengthening out the absinthe. So it's making the overall intensity of the absinthe much more easily approachable, where absinthe on its own can be a lot. But it's using a lot of the same flavors. So you get licorice and mintiness. And as a kid, I grew up, I hated black licorice. I don't know if I would like it today, but I love the flavor of it in drinks. And it has a wintergreen, menthol, absinthe, obviously, but then some creaminess and the sweetness from the root beer, some caramel notes from the root beer. And now I feel kind of dumb for not knowing how good this was going to be. Having said all this, I know a lot of people don't like root beer. I know a lot of people don't like absinthe. If you don't like root beer or absinthe, you're not going to like this. But you don't have to love root beer or absinthe to love this. It just works. It's delicious. It's wonderful. It's refreshing. It has that old-timey quality that I love. And the next cocktail we're going to make is a Don the Beachcomber drink. But if you want to see a combination of sort of this flavor profile plus the next drink, then I'll leave a link to the Languid Bell. It's a little bit more in depth and it requires you to do more, but it's the tropical standard Garrett Richard take on our next cocktail, and it has that absinthe root beer flavor throughout it. And speaking of that next cocktail, we are going back to Don the Beachcomber with the Caribbean Punch, a drink with lots going on. I've only had this once, and it was not made by a professional. So we'll keep it that way, and I'll make it myself this time, also not a professional. And this recipe can be found in Jeff Berry's Sippin' Safari. Start with 3 dashes of Angostura bitters, 3 drops of an almond extract, 6 drops of Pernod, 1/4 teaspoon of grenadine. I'm using fresh grenadine. 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, 1/2 ounce of falernum, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1 1/2 1.5 ounces of sarsaparilla or root beer, 1 ounce of a gold Jamaican rum, and 1 ounce of a Puerto Rican rum. So there you go, the Caribbean Punch by Don the Beachcomber. My good old pal Arminder from the Rum Revival used this drink in a video we did together. I can't even remember the concept of that video. We were trying rums, I know that's for sure, but I can't remember really what it tasted like. I remember we didn't love it. And I love the Languid Bell from Tropical Standard. So let's try this version. Cheers. That is also so good. It's very complex. There's so many things in here. I know what's in here, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it. We have, obviously, the sarsaparilla, which is very mild in the background. I kind of grew up driving around California. This would be everywhere at roadside stands. I remember always recognizing the Jackson Hole Snake River sarsaparilla. And a little bit different than root beer, but not that different. It has a little bit more of an herbal quality, but still like a smooth, clean, sweet sarsaparilla. That's there. But then we've got some Pernod, just a little bit, sort of amplifying that flavor. The Tropical Standard Falernum, which is a little bit complex, so that's like a bigger, bolder, more robust Falernum. The grenadine is like, I can actually taste the grenadine, just a little, that fresh grenadine. And then 2 solid rums, one providing the Jamaican flavor, which is very much in the background, and then the Bacardi 8, just an aged rum. It's great. It's great. I think that this is great. I think this is super interesting. There's so much going on, and it's one of those cocktails you can just peel back the layers, try to find new things with each sip, and just a little bit of lime juice there. You don't really taste it, but it's helping give some acidity and make it not just so sweet and flat. It's great. It is really great. I think this is a great cocktail. You don't have to love root beer or sarsaparilla because it's kind of barely there. And it's not nearly as close to our last cocktail, bringing out that licorice absinthe, intensity. It's much more subdued. So I think this is all about the ingredients you use. Good sarsaparilla, 2 good solid rums, a good falernum, and a good grenadine, and that will work. But you have to have, high quality aspects of those things. So even John D. Taylor's would probably work fine here. It's not going to provide much flavor, but make sure that you like your falernum, make sure you have a good grenadine, and make sure you have good rums. I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit of a gimmicky concept of root beer cocktails, of root beer drinks, but so far we're batting 1,000. Both of these delicious. And finally, we have just one more root beer cocktail, and this one is from Jim Jeehan, and he created the Silver Root Beer Fizz for his friend Chef Wiley Dufresne, who apparently really loves root beer. So let's make this one. In a shaker tin, start with 1/2 ounce of pineapple juice, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of a light Bajan rum, 1 ounce of Smith & Cross, and 1 egg white. We'll dry shake this. Now add some ice and shake again. Finally, we will strain this into a chilled glass and top with 2 ounces of root beer, and garnish with some nutmeg. So there you go, the Silver Root Beer Fizz. Let's try it. Cheers. It's very subtle on the aroma. It gets like a eggnog using Jamaican rum. You can get that there's Smith & Cross in there. You can taste it, but it's not funky at all. There's a lightness to it. The root beer is there, but it's balanced out with everything else. Out of the 3 today, this one is probably the most appealing to a broad spectrum of people because it's not super intense with the licorice and root beer, sarsaparilla, absinthe type notes, but it's also there's like a pleasant basicness to the flavors going on, where you can still taste the rum, and it has like a real creamy texture and consistency, similar to an eggnog, like a light eggnog, but there is no cream. It's just a combination of everything in here makes it feel like a cream soda. So there you go, folks. 3 cocktails with root beer, and as one-dimensional as I maybe anticipated this to go from the start, there's a wide range of flavors here, and I think there's something for everyone. If you want the real intense, old-timey licorice, like you're walking through a dusty old town, then this one right here with the absinthe and root beer, it is delicious. Get yourself a delicious root beer and a delicious absinthe. If you want something that's like kind of light and interesting and unique and hard to really put your finger on what it is in its complete format, the Silver Root Beer Fizz is this interesting drink for you to find all the different components of it, because it kind of transforms using the egg white and the root beer and the pineapple juice into this creamy drink that has this Jamaican backbone to it. So it's very unique, it's very different, it's very interesting. And then surprisingly, the Caribbean punch from Don the Beachcomber with these ingredients is fantastic. It really is fantastic if made this way with these ingredients. So that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. Consider subscribing to this channel if you have not already. And if you want to support this channel more, check out my Patreon page. Otherwise, see you on the next one.